What if you could see the last words anyone would ever say to you? Not when they would say them or why, just the final, permanent sentence, hanging over them like a ghost. For Alex, this wasn't a question. It was a curse. Ever since he was a kid, he saw them. A string of text glowing faintly above everyone he knew. It made him the loneliest person in the world, because who can truly get close to someone when you already know how it ends? The first time it mattered was with his best friend, Mark. They had a stupid fight over a video game. As Mark stormed out, Alex saw the words above his head for the first time, sharp and clear. "I can't do this anymore." Alex waited for a call, an apology, but it never came. The next week, he found out Mark's family had moved across the country. Those were the last words he ever heard from him. After that, Alex learned to protect himself. He built walls. He'd go on dates, meet new people, and for a while it would be good. But eventually, the words would start to form. "This isn't working out," or "I've met someone else." And the moment he saw them, he'd end it. He'd make up an excuse, walk away, and feel the cold, hollow victory of leaving before he could be left. He thought he was avoiding the pain, but all he was doing was collecting goodbyes, becoming a curator of his own loneliness. He was safe, but he was empty. His life changed on a visit to his grandmother. She was getting older, and he treasured their time together, but he lived in constant terror of looking above her head. For weeks, he'd focus on her hands, her smile, the floor, anywhere else. But one afternoon, as she was telling him a story from her childhood, he forgot himself, and his eyes drifted up. The words were there. They weren't angry or sad. They were simple, and they shattered him completely. They said, "I'm so proud of you." He started to cry, silent tears streaming down his face. He wasn't crying because she was going to die. He was crying for all the moments he'd missed, for all the love he'd pushed away because he was so scared of the final sentence. His grandmother stopped her story and took his hand. "What is it, my dear?" she asked, her voice full of concern. He just shook his head and squeezed her hand. "Nothing, Grandma," he whispered. "Everything is perfect." And in that moment, he understood. The last words weren't a curse. They weren't a warning of the end. They were the summary, the final, distilled truth of a person's feelings for you. Mark's "I can't do this anymore" wasn't about their friendship. It was about the life his family was forcing him to leave behind. The words he'd seen on his dates weren't rejections, but simple, honest endings to chapters that weren't meant to last. And his grandmother's words? They were the culmination of a lifetime of love. From that day on, Alex started living. He reconnected with old friends. He saw the words, "You're my brother," floating above one, and felt a profound warmth, not fear. He met a woman, and when he finally saw her last words to him would be, "I will always love you," he didn't run. He leaned in and started their story. He learned that the beauty of a book isn't in its last page, but in all the chapters that get you there. He still sees the words, but now they don't represent an end to be feared. They represent a story to be cherished. If you knew how your story with someone would end, would it change the way you lived the pages in between?